there. This is Marios Iliopoulos from Nightrage. We have playing for almost 25 years now. We have released 10 albums so far with different labels like Century Media, Life Force Records and Despots Records. And our last effort was Remains of a Dead World. The story behind the band name is, I think, when my older band Exhumation splitting up actually, and the last album called Traumaticon, and my idea actually was to call the band Traumaticon, the new band, but my bandmate at the time, Gas G, suggested the name Nightrage, that actually came from a song title from the last Exhumation album, Traumaticon. Remains of a Dead World was recorded entirely in Greece. That's actually the first time for us ever to record an album in Greece, because back in the day, the other albums we usually recorded in foreign studios outside Greece, like Fredman Studio, Jacob Hansen Studio, or Daniel Brekstad Studio. So this one, thanks to my beloved friend, really good producer and musician, and now drummer of the band, Fotis Bernardo, we recorded the whole album in his own studio, Deva Sound Studios in Athens, Greece, and he made an amazing job. Fotis produced, recorded, and mixed the album, and then our friend George Narangis did the mastering. Actually, it's a Greek team effort, because the cover John Tousas did, another very talented guy, and the videos Bob Katsionis and Alex Haritakis did the videos, the video clips for us. And every player was a Greek guy. So I'm very glad actually that we had the opportunity to release and record that whole album in Greece for the first time. And we're very, very pleased with the results. Actually, the themes about this album coming from as a hint from the latest trilogy that we got before, from the Venomous, Abyss Rising, and these kind of albums. We had this story that the world we're living, we're going towards our own extinction, and the fault is only on our side. So that album, Remains of a Dead World, it's maybe the cover and the title track referring to that trilogy, but there's other songs that talking about other subjects that we're always trying to keep the level very very real. We're talking about real stuff that we are experiencing, and we are see every day. We're writing about stuff that kind of bothering us. Maybe we're trying to write about. Like I said before, the cover of the album, it's made by John Tousas. He also did Abyss Rising, the latest, the previous album. And he's a very talented guy. We gave him some hints like about, what we wanted, some lyrics and some 2-3 demo songs. And he came up with this amazing cover. He's very talented, and he grabs exactly what we wanted to, portray with the album. Songs and the meanings of the songs, and he put everything in the cover of the album. So we're very happy with the results. The album is a bit different from Sweet Vengeance, the first album, but it's also kind of the same. What I mean is, like, we never forget our roots as a band. We always try to maintain the metal aspect of our music, but trying to make something better, not playing the same songs again, trying to improve our songwriting. So I think on the latest one, Fotis helped us to make some better arrangements of the songs. He was very demanding on the recording side of the things. I think the sound he achieved is very, very, very good, up to the standards of what we have released so far with Nightrage. So we are really happy with the results we got from Fotis Bernardo and Deva Sound Studios. It's always a pleasure to work with Despots Records. It's a label that we actually released 5 albums so far. Now our contract ended up right now with Despots Records, and we're very grateful from them. They They helped us a lot all these years to, building up the name of Nightrage and release some albums with them. And also, thanks to them, we found the Spiritual Beast label from Japan. They really like Remains of a Dead World album, and they wanted to release it as a licensed album in Japan with an extra bonus track. And we're really happy with the fact also that they bring us over for some shows there, because they are also bookers, and we played 2 back-to-back shows in Japan. It was a great experience for us. What's next for Nightrage? Well, I think we're working right now as we are speaking, working with some new demo songs. We're writing some new demo songs. We're looking for a label, a new label to release the next album. Maybe hopefully next year we're gonna release the next album. And we're trying also to find a new label, making some songs, shop it to the labels and see what happens. We're really excited, really actually inspired right now to write new songs. So we're gonna work on that really hard until we achieve the best songs possible, so we can, find a good label and a better future for the band. More plans. I think we are planning to play some festivals this summer. Probably in Dubai and also in Germany on the 13th of September. We haven't announced it yet, but it's going to be announced soon. And what else? Yeah, we're looking also some shows next year in North Europe. Our booker Mick from Metallian Productions, he's trying to help us, book 10 shows in Germany, Austria, and Sweden. So probably around March 2026, we're gonna get out on the road once again and play more shows for you guys. Rapid fire questions. The worst, let me see the question. I don't know about the worst place I woken up after a gig. I can recall something like that. Maybe that was somewhere in, well, it's a difficult question actually to answer. I can recall something like that, but it can be bad sometimes, Sometimes it can be bad. Sometimes you can wake up in a place out of nowhere, and you don't have food, you don't have water, Usually that's what happens in a tour. You need to be prepared for the worst, But anyways, it's for us. It's always fun to be out there and play gigs. So for me, it's always fun. Anyway, if I wanted to talk personally about myself. Well, that happened in the American tour. No shower for a week, or for a month, maybe it was for me, because in America, as you know, when you're touring, there is no on the club gigs, on the clubs actually, there is no showers and stuff like that, or it's difficult to find one. So it took a while until I clean up myself, But eventually we found one. I remember we found one club there, so that they had actually a shower. So that was the first thing I did when I wake up in that morning. Drunk stage kiss or accidental stage fart, like you are asking. Well, a lot of things can go wrong when you're on the stage. The problem for me is not that. It's I hate faulty gear. When my gear is going out of control, doesn't work properly, or when a string breaks, stuff like that. When you make a mistake, maybe, or that stuff can happen. When you can't hear yourself, all that stuff, it's a nightmare for me, And I'm trying to take it easy from now. I don't want to think about it that much. But, every kind of shit can happen while you're playing a show. So you need to be prepared as well for that. 5-star hotel or fans couch with 3 girls. I'm a very actually easy guy, so it doesn't really matter for me. As long as I have a plate of food and somewhere to sleep, for me, that's all I need. And, I need to experience that, every time, and, hanging out with my friends and having a good time, a good laugh. And a good memory, a good show, and meeting some cool new people. That's all I'm asking for. So doesn't really matter for me where I'm going to sleep. Either it's a 5-star hotel or it's a friend's couch. it's the same thing for me. The memories is what I'm looking for, the great memories. This is what I'm looking for, and also the connection with our great fans when we're playing a show or going on a tour. What's your go-to drink before hitting the stage? Well, I'm not a drinker, as many people know probably or don't know. I'm not drinking alcohol. I try to drink a lot of water, maybe some orange juice or stuff like that. I don't want to drink before or after the show. Maybe I can get a beer after the show, just for fun, just to join my friends and have a good time. But I'm not usually I try to avoid alcohol and smoke, and try to stay in my corner, play my guitar, warm up a little bit, and getting ready for the show. Give some nice hugs to my bandmates before we go on stage, and that's all I'm looking for, actually. A message to the death metal fans: thanks for the interview. Thanks a lot for the interest in Nightrage. It's something that I never get for granted. Thank you for having us on your show on YouTube. I want to give my greetings to all our beloved fans out there. Hopefully we can play very, very close to you, so you can come and hang out with us, experience our show. We really want to keep listening to the music, supporting us, supporting death metal in general, and stay, be a kind guy to your fellow human beings. Thanks a lot for the interview, and see you very, very soon. Stay metal. Cheers.
Hello guys, this is Konstantinos from Nightrage, and thank you so much for this interview. I'm going to answer all the questions you need for you to know what I believe. So the first question: if a label is necessary today? Well, for me this is a question totally that depends on what the artist and what are the goals of a band. If of course you want to have a more professional career and you want to focus on your music instead of promoting your band and distributing your music and doing all the stuff, all the bureaucratic stuff, and all the stuff that is business material to do, then if you have this choice to select a good label to handle all this necessary stuff that you need to do nowadays, then definitely go for a label. But you must certainly check the deal that you will make. You must make sure and examine every part of this deal, so you know that everything is agreed, everything will be done, everything is in favor of your band and of course for the label. And if you have a good deal, then you can go on. It's very, very, very risky to not read the deal and make a quick decision to make an agreement with a label just because it is a label, big or small. I think the most important is the deal. Even if you are in a small label with a good deal, it will benefit your band. Now, if you want just to play your music and see what happens, freedom is always better, but don't have any expectation. Just play your music and whatever it will come, it will come. So that's my idea and my opinion about labels nowadays. Of course, I don't know a lot about the past. I've heard a lot of stories, and for 2025, I think this is the most reasonable approach. Second question: What and why did metal grab you? What and why? All right. So, I'll tell you the first I will answer why metal grabbed me when I was a kid, actually 14 years old, when I first listened to my favorite band, Lamb of God, the song Vigil. As every kid, we have our troubles, our darkness, and listening an aggressive music full of energy and passion. Of course, it's something that if you like, of course, extreme noise and music, it will get your attention immediately. So this is what happened with me. I had a lot of energy. Not the best experiences in family, school, and stuff. So it was a good opportunity for me to start digging metal music. So was the what was the what was the music and stuff? I already told you it was Lamb of God, my favorite band, and after, of course, I started discovering metal music, and I'm so proud that I did and so happy. Next question. One thing that you would change about the music industry? Hmm. Music industry unfortunately favors the most known bands and the most famous and successful bands, and we all love them, of course, and they are there to stay. But many opportunities for smaller bands, very talented bands, and hardworking bands are, I believe, nowadays limited because the metal music industry, and because of not the CD sales anymore, of the huge gigs and all these things, and the frequent shows in smaller venues that help a small band to grow are now eliminated. Traveling is very expensive, gas is very expensive, accommodation is very expensive, organizing a show has turned very expensive nowadays. Plus, there is no income and revenues from CD sales, and everything is digital nowadays. So I think the opportunities for smaller bands to grow and show off their work and get along with other big bands and playing big shows are becoming more limited than ever. I hope this will change, but if there was something I would change in the metal industry right now is this, more opportunities for smaller bands and more income for musicians to be able to pay their music and become better and make their dreams more, sustainable. An epic on stage fails you remember. An epic on stage fails you remember. Fail. Okay. There was one show with Nightrage. I don't remember where, but somewhere in Europe. I think it was Europe. Anyway, and because usually I throw water around and stuff to people, and on the stage it's some water sometimes. I almost slipped and fall down very heavily, but thank God, everything was all right, and that was almost a fail. Now, other fails. Okay, there are sometimes the microphone goes unplugged, or the sound. We were in a festival in Belgium, and suddenly the electricity shut down. Again, this was a fail, but that was our fails. No bigger fails than this. Thank God. Recent albums and movies that you loved. All right, from recent, I will tell you about some Greek albums that I really liked. Is from the band Nightfall. I really liked the new album. What other album did I like? Recent one. I really liked another band again from Greece called Oria, which are from Thessaloniki, North Greece. I really like their new album. And you know, in films, I'm not a big film fan, although I'm devoted to Lord of the Rings trilogy. That's the only and the best film that I rewatch every month. Now, yeah, a new film that I really liked. It was a new one from a Greek director, Yanthimos, but I really don't remember the name of the film, but it was really great. Where do you think death metal is going? Alright, death metal, you know. Death metal, I think, is taking its old glory again. You know, many big death metal bands are turning to their old sound, like mid 90s, late 90s, which, you know, the riffs and the melodies were more raw, and there were not so many, you know, pop elements inside. And I think that death metal in general, the extreme metal sound, is coming up again. And because people the past decade and a little bit more have missed, you know, the good old death metal, now I think in a more modern version it's coming up again. And also this is what we're trying to do again with Nightrage, you know, maintain the good old death metal, melodic death metal, but modernize it in a more, you know, today's sound, production, you know, ideas, vocals. So I think death metal is growing again, and in general, metal music. The current death metal, what's the current death metal scene in your city or town? Death metal in Greece, because Greece is also a small country, and okay, we have a lot of metal fans and many metal bands, but I will concentrate more on in Greece because we have some great bands also in North Greece and South Greece. There is a very good death metal band that I discovered also recently, and it's called Cyanide. It's from Thessaloniki, and actually their guitar player Kostas is currently playing with us. This is a great band, and I really love them. Also, then there is another upcoming band called I See Red, which is also a Greek band from Athens, and they are good friends of mine. And they are making right now a very good album, and they have a, you know, more out the gates approach, but again more modern, and it's really nice what they are doing. Now other death metal, as I told you already, it's Nightfall Band, which they released their album very recently, and it's very amazing. Now other, you know, death metal, the death metal scene also in Greece, I think it follows the European and the worldwide direction of death metal, as I already talked before, and I think it's growing with the death metal wave worldwide, and hopefully Nightrage is following with, you know, tremendous passion. Top death metal album and why? Top death metal album and why? So, number one, I have Slaughter of the Soul by At the Gates. It's a really amazing album. I mean, they discovered a new sound for melodic death metal. The production that was done in this album, it was, oh my god, really until today it's unreachable. I mean, you can hear everything so clear. It's flawless. It has so much, detail. The sound is heavy. Uh, Everything is amazing. Everything is really amazing. Another album is which one? Of course, one of my favorite death metal albums is this one, Sweet Vengeance from Nightrage. Also, Tom Balumberg from At the Gates is singing in this album, and I really love his voice. I like a lot the gallery, of course. It's again one of the pioneering death metal albums, and I mean, the guys have done amazing work in composing, and pretty much in death metal, these are my three favorite albums that they really, every song is original to the tradition of melodic death metal roots, and hopefully this spirit and this energy is coming up again in today's albums. Death metal album cover. Okay, I really like all the covers actually of Hypocrisy. I like that they have a character that Peter Taggrand philosophy is about this mysterious and out of earth philosophy, that the conspiracies and aliens, and it's for me it's fascinating because the visuals and the symbols in every album, it's really interesting to see. And I like that every album cover is relevant to the to the main theme of the band, what the band is believe in. Same with the album covers. I mean, it's not okay, let's do an album cover for this album because we are thinking about this artist is good, and you can do whatever you want. I think in every album there is a certain theme, but it's under the big theme of Hypocrisy. So I'd say this, all the albums of Hypocrisy, I really like the covers very much. So the worst place I've walken into a gig is actually I sleep every time, after the sound check and before the gigs. I always sleep somewhere. So usually I sleep on benches, on on sofas on the backstage, sometimes even on the floor. But one day I slept on a backyard of a house in Germany by accident, and I was sleeping on a table under a tree. And I remember I was sleeping with my jacket because it was cold, and my beanie and my headphones, and I was sleeping really deep. And suddenly an old woman started shouting on my face, and because I had my sound isolation headphones, I couldn't listen anything, and she didn't touch me. And suddenly Marius came and he woke me up and said, "Dude, wake up, what the fuck are you doing here, man?" And I opened my eyes, and I see this lady shouting on me and cursing at us. And after we left, because it was her house, but it was kinda merged with the venue anyway. So that's the worst wake up and place that I slept in a show. No shower for a week, or no clean underwear for a month. No shower for a week, of course. Dirty underwear for a month is extreme, man. Second question. Um, no shower for a week or no clean underwear for a month? Of course, no shower for a week. Imagine wearing the same underwear for a month after sweating. Oh my god, I cannot imagine the smell. No shower for a week, 100%. Drunk stage kiss or accidental fart on stage. You know, many accidental farts have happened on stage, but nobody listens, you know, in the music. Accidental kisses, thank God, no. But if I had to choose, I would choose the accidental farts. If they don't, you know, if they are not, you know, noticeable from anyone. 5-star hotel. 5-star hotel or 5-star hotel or fans couch with 3 girls. You know, tough question. Now, because I've turned into a good guy, I'll take the 5-star hotel. What's your drink before you hit the stage? Beer. 3 beers or 2 beers. Something to make me feel a little bit more energized. Any message? So, to all the death metal fans, keep on listening to metal music. We love you. We will always creating music for you and for ourselves, and we hope you enjoy it. See you on the road and stay metal forever. Cheers.